Our next speaker is Jeannette Niezgodski, and I think I pronounced your name correctly. I've been practicing it. But Jeannette is a member of the Social Action Leadership Team at St. Luke, as well as the Respect Life Coordinator. She's a pro-life activist, a wife, and a mom of 3. She's been to the March for Life 20 times, and this January 2014, she will lead her 10th trip to D.C. And when asked why she does the D.C. trip, she says it's for the kids because at some point, someone they know will find themselves in an unexpected pregnancy. And this shows them, it empowers these young people to talk to their friend and let them know they have options. And choosing life is the best option. Jeannette?
My story begins on June 25th. Mark had Fox News on, and we were watching the infamous Senator Wendy Davis with her 11-hour filibuster on SB 1 before the vote, which was due in at midnight when the Senate goes on break. After her filibuster was stopped, there were paid protesters hired by Planned Parenthood and urged on by the Democrats to raise the noise in the chamber to deafening levels. The vote did not happen in time. In Texas, the House and Senate is only in session for 6 months. It's not like everywhere else. That's how our forefathers planned it, because those government officials had other jobs. They were farmers or they were cattle ranchers, and they had family to get home to. So, SB 1 would not be brought back to light for another 18 months. SB 1 would have banned abortions after 20 weeks and forced many clinics to upgrade their facilities and be classified as ambulatory surgical centers. The next day, Governor Rick Perry called for a special session to try again, starting on July 1st. When I was here at the mill on Tuesday the 2nd, Rebecca gave me a few tweeting lessons because the next day was a Stand for Life tweet fest. Vivian was also talking about going down to Austin over July 4th, as the mill would be closed on Friday. And then on Facebook, I kept seeing this ad for students to go to Austin. The top picture had words that said, if this is you, and then it showed a picture of a person looking at the computer and seeing the rotunda and all the chaos going on. And then the bottom picture said, would you rather be here? And then it showed a blue shirt down there holding a pro-life sign, standing in the rotunda. And I'm like, yeah, I'd love to be there. So, and I've been following all that very closely. On Wednesday morning, I saw a pro-life ad put out by Concerned Women for America that they were hosting a pro-life rally on the Austin steps of the Capitol. And there were a lot of really great speakers coming. Oh, I wanted to be there for that. I came here again to see if Vivian could stay for the rally, but she couldn't stay that long. I asked Mark if he wanted to go, but he didn't have enough vacation time left. So I put a couple of invites out on Facebook, and Catherine jumped on it, and we decided we would stay for the rally and maybe the vote too. I'd already worked out places in Dallas with my brother and his wife Sue, and Sue found a place for us to stay in Austin. Bobby Radek, the director of CWA of Ohio, joined us for the trip. However, now we were going to come home right after the rally, as Bobby had many meetings set up for Wednesday. We left early Saturday morning in the dark and the rain and arrived in Dallas right after sunset. Sue, my sister-in-law, was going to go along with us and her 2 youngest boys, 2nd grade and 4th grade. We got up at 3:30 a.m. on Monday to drive to a church on the other side of Dallas to catch a bus for Austin, leaving at 5 a.m. Right before we got to Austin, we got a text from Bobby, who had gone down on Sunday with some CWA friends. Tell the people on the bus that the orange shirts had a class last night on civil disobedience. They were told to wear blue, not be friendly, and make us look crazy. Do not engage. All they needed was a quick little soundbite on somebody's phone from a blue shirt to go viral, and then we'd be in trouble. Upon entering the State House, we got into a line to register our views and sign up to testify and tell our story, if we wanted, on how abortion affected me. Catherine was handing out these red life tapes to everyone in our group as the line wound all up and down the corridors. At one point, we saw Abby Johnson. We got pictures with her and chatted, and she asked if she could go up to the front of our group because she really wanted to testify. Our leader took us to an overflow room to watch the Senate hearings live on a jumbo screen. There were only a couple of blue shirts in there. It was a sea of orange. The orange shirts would sit on the end of a row, stick their feet out, and block so no blue shirts could come in there. They would cordon off a whole row. Catherine, Sue, myself, and the boys found a row across the room. As we were heading over there, the orange shirts started chanting, "Blue shirts are bringing them in from Ohio! The blue shirts are bringing them in from Ohio!" And then the Senate committee for SB1 was in debate at that time, with lots of cheering and jeering from those orange shirts. They were supposed to be quiet. Shortly, 4 policemen came in and stayed. We must have been in the orange strategy room because when a pro-life senator was talking, they got disruptive. An orange shirt went up front and was telling the group about times and places to go for phone calling, rally, and protests. We did see 2 orange shirts walk in with a blue shirt being all friendly and sitting together. Later found out that person was a mole. Then shortly after, another came in as well. Finally, the Senate debate was over, and now it was time for the 6 professionals to testify for 6 minutes each. This took 2.5 hours with all the Senate questioning. One lady who ran several clinics across Texas was there. The Senate questions to her was, "Do you really need wider hallways?" Of course, she said no. Well, yes, they did, because the hallway at Gosnell's clinic, if it had been wide enough, they could have got the gurney down and the lady would have been saved, but instead she died. "Do they really need separate changing rooms for men and women?" And she said no, and I'm like, duh, that's only sensible. "Does the janitor really need to have a separate closet to put his cleaning supplies?" Again, she said no, but right now the way it is they're close at hand, so if a baby's born alive, they can kill the baby with the chemicals. A Texas health inspector testified that all the facilities were safe and had to be inspected regularly. No need for abortion procedures to be performed in an ambulatory surgical center. The Senate questioned her on complications. They had heard that not many complications are reported, and they asked her what she thought. And she says, "I can't answer that." They asked her several questions, and everything was, "I don't know," or "I can't answer that." Finally, the senator was getting upset, and he said, "Do you have someone with you who can answer that?" So she brought up a statistics person who shared that complications are very minimal across Texas. Then the public testimony began. Many abortive moms and some dads testified with their stories. Crisis care workers, clinic workers, workers as well as the paid protesters who looked like they were given an eloquent speech to say from Planned Parenthood. They came up in teams of 6, 3 orange and 3 blue, so it would be even. As we watched throughout the day, we were all posting live status reports to Facebook and Twitter. Then an ER nurse came to testify. She says, "I'm going to tell you probably the most gruesome things you've heard all day." She recalled a case where a young gal was brought into the ER with her intestines hanging out of her private parts. She went on to tell as many more stories as she could in her 2 minutes. She was one of the few public testimonies that got questioned by the Senate while we were there. And they asked her, "How many complication forms do you fill out on a weekly or monthly basis?" She said she has never seen a complications form. She was not aware there was even such a complication form. So the complication form was not filled out at the abortion mill, and they didn't do it at the ER, so it was never reported. So we knew they were all lying. It was kind of neat to be able to see that. By mid-afternoon, we needed a break from all the lies, and the boys needed to move around. We took them out to the rotunda and listened to Let Texas Speak, where the blue shirts would stand in the center of the star, in the center of the rotunda, and speak. One young gal who had just graduated college told how last year she would have been an orange shirt, but she did her thesis on the development of the baby in the womb. Lots of women spoke about their abortions, and then a young man, a pre-med student, pointing to the orange shirts up on the gallery, said, "Shame on you. The 10 Commandments stand outside. Thou shalt not kill." And our ancestors fought at the Alamo, not for this to happen. That's where we saw Rebecca and the 2 gals from Stand True. They were across the rotunda from us. As we went back inside, a smartly dressed woman in a blue dress suit came up and thanked us for coming and shook our hands. I told Catherine, "I think that was Carol Everett." I went after her, and when I got close enough, I said, "Carol? Carol?" And then she turned around, and I asked if she was Carol Everett. She said yes, she was. And I told her we just heard her at a recent fundraiser in Dayton. She used to oversee many Planned Parenthoods in Texas before her conversion. She came back to chat with us, and since we came all the way from Ohio to support the bill, and we started becoming known down there as the Ohio Ladies. Then we went to Senator Matt Schaefer's office, who offered his electricity to charge our phones. We could leave our backpacks there safely, and he provided snacks and drinks for us. The senator, his wife, and the entire staff was so friendly and welcoming. Before we could leave, he had to have a picture with the Ohio ladies and our sign. So many blue shirts thanked us throughout the day for coming down from Ohio to be with them for support. It really meant a lot to them. Now on to the rally. There was 2,000 blue shirts there and 20 orange, way in the back of the corner in the lawn. Every speaker talked of Jesus and the Bible. I found on YouTube as I was getting ready for this speech the entire talk on the rally, so I have some motivational quotes from Texas for you. One of our favorites was Lieutenant Governor Dewhurst, who said, "I have a message for those people out there who don't agree with us, and it may surprise you. It's we love you, because as Christians, we love you just as much as that unborn baby." And with that, the orange shirts turned around and walked away. Pastor Jeffers from Dallas told us, "This is not a battle between Democrats and Republicans. It's between light and darkness, good and evil, the kingdom of Satan and the kingdom of God, and we are going to win." God is on the side of life. You hear, "Hail to Satan." Satan's been a murderer since the beginning. Anyone who opposes this bill, whether he or she realizes it, is a tool of Satan, being used by Satan to accomplish Satan's purpose of death. It is our Lord Jesus Christ who said, "I have come so that you might have life and live it abundantly." God is on the side of life. The final speaker was Governor Huckabee, and he started out, "Tonight, the eyes of America are on Texas and the stand that you are taking for human life. Our founding fathers, when they signed the Declaration of Independence, recognized that life is not a government gift, it's a God gift. Government is committed to protect that gift which God gave. It is not that I am against those who carry signs and wear orange shirts, because I value their lives too. Those lives are equal. No such thing as a life not worthy to be lived. No such thing as a life that is disposable. No such thing as a life that is so worthless, so unwanted, so unnecessary that any of us would choose and believe that we have the right to extinguish that which God created." Many times he's been asked, "Is sanctity of life a political issue?" And he answers with, "I did not become pro-life because of politics. I got into politics because of my commitment to the idea that every human being has value and purpose and meaning." He asked all of us to pray about running for office. He says if they won't vote pro-life, vote them out, and we need to run. We were honored to be in Austin to stand for life. Our blood ran blue that week. In the car on the way home, we were following the live hearings on our little screen on the phone, following the Stand for Life Twitter feeds and the Facebook postings. I remember lying in bed the last night of the vote, following the Twitter and Facebook postings of the escapades during the day, and at vote time from Rebecca, her mom, and Abby, and the others on the front line, praying that they were all safe. Rebecca didn't tell you, but they had to go in hiding inside some of the senators' offices because it just got too dangerous out there in the rotunda. And as Catherine puts it, we were not paid to go to Austin, we were called.